All right, guys and girls, this is going to be a two-part video on how to change the oil on a Mahindra M75, and then the second video will be actually how to reset the service light on the tractor, because it's kind of two separate things. The oil change, it's very simple for anybody who's done one. You can see I've already removed the sides. They're over there of the tractor, but just to pop the hood, there's a lever on the left side. It's going to pull up, and it'll pop it. You lift up. The sides, you can see there's two latches on each side. You lift the latches and then just lift it straight up and out. I just boomed it all the way up just so the hydraulics were clear of it and it was easy to remove. So pretty much once you got that up, we can come around to the right side of the tractor and we'll see. I already have the oil draining out, but just for your information, you'll need a 22 millimeter socket. And if you don't have a long socket like that, I just use my impact. You're probably going to need the extension because you have to reach up in between the hydraulic hoses and the side of the tractor, so it's a little tight, so you have to fit it up in there and take that 22 millimeter bolt out. Once you get it out, the oil is going to come pouring out like it did almost all in under a minute, but the manual says let it drain out for 5 minutes, which I'll gladly let it do. So and obviously before you go to start this project, this is the 50-hour change out. The first oil change per the manual and per everybody is 50 hours because it's break-in oil. Then after that, I think the manual says every 500 hours for an oil change, and it just takes 15W40. The only thing you'll need before you start this project, along with your tools, is the replacement filter. And you can see the filter part number on there. It's kind of quite long, so I'm not going to say it out loud, but you can see that there and get that from your tractor dealer. That was around like 20 bucks, 21, 22, something like that. So not too bad. Almost the same as, you know, a truck filter. So the amount of oil you're going to need is it's like 2.4 gallons. So if you go to Tractor Supply and buy one of the 2.5 gallon jugs of 15W40, that should do you fine there. Have a little bit spare, a little bit extra in case you spill some. And so pretty much I'll take you underneath just so you can see where this plug is. You guys can see right up here, this is for the checking oil level. Inside of here, which I'm gonna have to remove in a minute, is there's a cover over, that's actually the oil filter right there, and there's like this screen grating over it, which you can see there's a bolt right there on the right hand side that you have to unbolt to take off the screen, replace the filter. And I'll do that after I get all the oil drained out here. I'll show you the bolt hole underneath here, underneath the tractor, for what you need to pull out. If you take a look, you can see oil dripping out right here. Between here and here, the bolt is up in there. And I'll try not to get it all over my phone, but if you can see up in there, the bolt is up in there, or it was up in there, and I've pulled it out since then. So you're gonna go right between here and this hydraulic hose. It's right in here, so you have to kind of push these off to the side a little bit. Excuse the camera footage there. And once you do that, and you put the bolt back in and you're ready to refill, the refill is right here. So I'll put that bolt back in the bottom, tighten it up with my 22 millimeter socket, take this off, fill it up to the proper level. But also I'm going to change out the filter, and you know they say pre-lube the filter with oil and then put it back in. So it's pretty simple. And after this, after the oil change is done, I'll go through how to reset the service light. Okay guys, back to the oil change here. So I let out the old oil. It was literally 2.5 gallons that came out. I still have a little bit left in the pan, so I dumped the 2.5 gallon 15W40 in there after I put the plug back in. When I took the plug out, there was a decent amount of metal shavings on it, but I guess, you know, the engine's just breaking in. It would break in oil for the first 50 hours, so I guess that's to be expected. So I cleaned the magnet off. All the tools you'll need a 22 millimeter kind of a longer socket or an extension to reach the drain plug. You'll need a 14 millimeter wrench or ratchet, or I kind of use both to take off. This is the guard that goes back over the fuel filter, and both these are, you know, 14 millimeter nuts. That fuel filter, the original one from the factory, was stuck on there. Like, I crushed it in using a filter wrench, and you know, I tried getting it out with a screwdriver first, stabbed it, I was just tearing through the metal. So I got the right tool for it, but even with that, it was stuck on there. So that factory filter, I don't know how they put it on, but it's friggin' on there. The other thing I noticed was the filter that I got from the dealership to replace is not the same length, is not the same ECI filter as the one that came from the factory with it on. The newer filter that they gave me, so this one says, you know, says the filter part number there. It's different. The new one, the replacement one, is actually a little bit longer than this one. So I'm gonna go confirm that later. But just so you know, if you get the new filter, it's probably gonna be a little bit longer than the original factory one. And I don't know why this one was stuck on there so bad, but it was on there pretty good. So before I put the cover back over the oil filter, they highly recommend that we start up the. You can see it right down there. That's it right there. Just the cover on. I checked the engine oil after I put 2.5 gallons in. It was just below the high level, max level on here. So when I get it started up, I primed the filter with a little bit of oil, but it probably has to fill up some more. So I'll lower the level down. But they say just start up the tractor and make sure it's not spitting oil out of the filter there. It actually says that in the manual. So maybe that's why it was wrenched on so tight. I don't know, but I'm gonna give her a start up, let it run for a minute, make sure I'm not leaking any oil out. And then we'll go on to the next video of resetting the maintenance reminder that comes up on the dashboard of the tractor.